Yo, what's up, guys? Playing a little bit of last Epoch today. I just started playing. We're gonna just see how things go, and I'm learning as I play. It's pretty good, pretty fun game. Just started playing yesterday, level 51. I have my other video uploaded on my other my YouTube channel. Should be there. What I do need to get is more cast speed because my character is attack speed is quite slow right now. Oh, big crab, big crab. And he's dead. Right now I'm doing a fire damage build. I got the Cinder Song, got Calamity, more fire damage. Got Ruby Amulet, more fire damage. Then I also got Goblet, 48% fire damage. So, that's going good. Charge. Let me turn my mic volume down. That should be good. You want to keep it in the green. Hmm. What is this? You can't get around it, can you? By the invasion forces?
This has gone on long enough. Yes? Ah, I see you helped clear out the rabble down there. I thank you for your effort.
I cannot do that.
Pick up all those idols. Hopefully, we got something good. Ugh. Drop me something good. Man, this Phoenix has a lot of HP. No.
You will take my place.
I do a lot of damage now. But my attack speed is definitely going down a lot.
My
Oh,
research wasted.
let's see. 32% slow on spell hit, 44 fatality, shred armor and spell hit, electrify, poison. Chance to ignite, cold resistance. So Shitty boots. %, cold resistance, dexterity. The boots aren't worth it. Mana. Let me see this. See how much damage I do. 1,000? 700?
I cannot do that. Fools. Fools.
Wait, am I really doing 1,000? My gosh, I melted.
Fools. Fools.
I melt everything now. Okay, so the Cinder Song isn't that good.
I cannot do that.
Teleport.
I cannot do that.
I cannot do that.
I
Oh
cannot
yeah, I got a
do
nemesis. See how fast I can kill the nemesis. And this is a max HP nemesis too. Max HP. Oh. So I was thinking about doing a fire damage, but oh, I forgot that's a nemesis. I'm so stupid.
I
Okay.
cannot do that.
I cannot do that. Let's go this way. With my 1,000 damage a shot. That's ridiculous. Only at level 50. Tima. Tatima.
I'm glad you are safe. I see. Did she? That would not be wise. Liath's been known to be tense.
Gods
Though
be
I
with
see
you.
her as a friend, she
Good
will
boy.
consider me as a threat.
Farewell.
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 These waters are dangerous. Aye.
The traveler set sail,
The traveler
eager
set
to
sail.
make it to the Isle
Eager
of
to make it to
Storms.
the Isle
The
of
ship is
Storms.
secure.
The ship is secure. Should disappear in no time.
Dawn's temple,
Lagon's temple, a beacon of light.
Careful. Lagon's not used to visitors.
Careful.
the Isle of Storms,
The Isle of
complete
Storms,
with its
complete
capricious
with its capricious god. The Isle of Storms. Lagoon's Isle. What is that, dude?
Fools! Fools!
What the fuck was that? What the fuck?
I cannot do that. I cannot do that.
Let's see, where you at, DoorDash? Okay. Yeah, I ordered me some DoorDash. I got me some Chipotle. Hopefully it's pretty good. Normally it is, but it always comes cold. One gripe I do have about this game is the moving and attacking. That's about it.
I
The
cannot
rest I really
do
like.
that.
Like, I have a whole inventory full of uniques. I don't ever use Fireball, it's just terrible. I mean,
cannot do that.
what's the point?
Hmm?
Hmm?
Farewell.
Farewell.
I cannot do that.
Find a moonlit shrine.
I cannot do.
I don't think there's gonna be any moons.
I cannot do that.
Be quiet. I cannot do that. I cannot do that. Oh, it's orange. It's not yellow. Yeah. Man, that's a cool sword. Let's see. 70 melee, move speed, dodge rating. Let's see. Weaver's Will. Double for 3 seconds after hitting a boss or a rare enemy that's low health. Pick it up. Oh shit. Six. This one's even better.
I cannot do that. Fools. Fools.
1200 damage. Wow.
I cannot do that.
Oh, Pyromancer Ring. Freeze. Fire damage. Let's see. Increase critical strike, health regen, lightning riz. I got. Here we go. Fire damage.
I cannot do that.
$1,300 I'm hitting for. Goodness. How does he get 1,000,000 views over here?
Let's start off today with this, because they might have finally done it. They have finally broken Elon Musk. I mean, it only took them vandalizing Teslas and putting swastikas on them. See, all the way back in 2021, on a Tesla's earning call, Elon Musk basically said that going forward, he will no longer be joining these specific calls unless he had something really important to say. 4 years later, well, he joined a call yesterday because he did have something pretty important to say to Tesla investors. He announced that starting next month, his time allocation at Doge will be significantly reduced. He said that he will remain involved with Doge, for the remainder of Trump's term, but from May onwards, he'll be focusing much more on Tesla again and only spend 1 or 2 days a week on government matters. And I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of a much needed thing for his companies, because it wasn't just his cars on autopilot. Bro put the entire company on autopilot, and it kind of went off the rails. He himself admitted that his work in politics has taken his focus off of Tesla, but he said that it was kind of necessary because what he was trying to do was correct a system that massively was messed up, and if that went down, then they all go down, including Tesla. So he kind of felt like this is what he had to do, no matter the blowback. But I don't know if he expected it, but in the meantime, his work at Doge did spark that global and I guess continuing protest against his companies. It triggered attacks on not just the cars, but the charging stations, the dealerships, even Tesla drivers themselves. And some of the protesters literally said themselves that our hope is if his companies feel a lot of pain, it will just get him to back off and stop his work at Doge.
I'm hoping that if he feels enough pain from his companies having trouble, he'll leave.
And it looks like they might have achieved their goals because his companies have been hurting. Or at least Tesla, because them in particular, they've seen a 20% drop in revenue in the first quarter of 2025. Their stock was down 41% this year, and they've seen a staggering 70% drop in profits. However, and you can see how important it is to investors whether he works with the government or not, because as soon as he made the announcement that he's stepping back, the Tesla stock shot up 10 points in after-hours trading. Now, to be fair, it is hard to say for sure if the protesters are 100% the reason that he is stepping back, because Musk's role in the government was always kind of supposed to be short-lived. According to reports, as a special government employee, he legally couldn't work for more than 130 days a year in this advisory role. And apparently that cap would have been hit in late May anyway. So the sun was getting real low, big guy. In the first place before this. But ultimately, what do you guys think? Was it a big mistake for Elon Musk to get involved in politics? Or was Elon's role in the government critically important? And now that he's set a good foundation, they can kind of go on autopilot without him. God, everything on autopilot, eh? Anyway, moving on. Because we have to talk about this next one, which is, it wasn't even 24 hours, guys, before people started gambling on who is going to replace the Pope after he died. And it's already at $4.5 million. What are we doing? Their current favorite to become the new Pope is Italian Pietro Parolin, with a Filipino cardinal, Luis Antonio Taglel. I don't know how to pronounce it. He's second. That's the point. But what's crazier, and I can't believe I didn't even know this, but this isn't even new. Apparently, when Pope Francis was hospitalized back in February, bets on whether he would die and we would get a new Pope this year was trending. Anything, huh? I mean, I can't even believe that this isn't a Black Mirror episode already. Maybe it is, actually, because companies have offered bets on, and they constantly do, on sensitive events like this as well. Like, when the Titan submersible was happening, they bet on whether it would be found or not, how much would be burnt in the LA wildfires, and even if the US would take over Gaza. What? Alex, make sure to block out the names of these companies. I do not endorse this. And as I continued looking into this, turns out we've actually been cooked for a long time. Because even in the Middle Ages, when we were peasants, Pope Gregory had to pass a law threatening excommunication because people were gambling on who would become the next pope all the way back in 1591. Shame on us. So as we hang our heads in shame, we must move on. Okay, I've got to ask you guys a question and only answer it after I talk about this story, okay? Is our generation cooked? What do you think? Hold that answer. Because we have just got the financial data from Coachella, the festival, and a staggering 60% of all the tickets were bought using finance. And if that's not bad enough, it's not just a $600 ticket that we're now putting on finance. It's like our entire lives. You see, just a few years ago, it was the big ticket items that we'd buy now, pay later. The TVs, the cars, the cell phones. But in 2025, everything has changed. Just some of the companies that now offer buy now, pay later include DoorDash, Uber Eats, Shein, I thought that was supposed to be cheap, Target, and even Chili's. Chili's, how are we getting into debt for our dinner? But, and not to relinquish you of all your responsibility, but it might not all be our fault. You see, usually when there's a cost of living crisis, we have to tighten up on unnecessary spending because usually you're forced to choose between paying rent or going to a festival. You know, rent is gonna happen. But the Coachellas and the Uber Eats of the world, they said, we still need to make money. So they put their heads together and they said, okay, if you can't afford $50 tonight for dinner, how about we do you $5 over 10 weeks? And it has worked well. By 2023, more than half of Gen Z in the United States have used buy now, pay later services. Just a year later, in 2024, the US spent more with buy now, pay later than the top 4 countries around the world combined. And then by 2027, it's projected that $450 billion will be spent this way globally. And remember, 450 billion, that's technically debt. And no matter how you want to package it, debt is debt. And now only 26% of Gen Z believe they will own a home by the age of 35. That is so low. But what do you think? Is buy now, pay later just this trick to get us to spend money we don't have? Or is it a genuinely convenient tool that helps us live normal lives and survive through a cost of living crisis? I asked my Instagram that question, and I thought it sounded pretty like maybe more people would be 50-50. But no, out of 35,000 votes, 91% said it was a trick to get us into debt. That's rough. So now that you've heard the story, what do you think? Is our generation cooked, or is there still hope for us to make it back? Moving on. Talking about something that is cooked beyond belief, though, the situation in France. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I've been seeing some, crazy stuff coming out of France, even over the last, couple of years. And I gotta ask, you guys good? You sure? I mean, I know that everyone is kind of going through a rough time right now, but this is different. This week, prisons across the country were hit by what police are calling a coordinated attack. And we're talking about people firing automatic weapons at the prisons. We're seeing pictures of bullet holes in glass walls and doors. They're blowing up cars and they're even threatening officers at their home. And it's not just one or two. These are prisons throughout the country in several different cities. The attackers left behind the tag DDPF, and so that's now also got France's anti-terror office in on the investigation. And the craziest part is that authorities believe that these attacks are intimidation attempts in a response to the government's crackdown on what officials are calling a tsunami of cocaine entering the country. There's a lot in that one. Bro, imagine trying to intimidate the government. That's like some cartel level stuff. Absolutely wild. But moving on. Don't worry, France. I'm not just singling you out. Just wait till you hear what happened in America this week. But first, Kenya. What the hell is going on there? Let me just quickly roast you for a second, because the reason this Kenyan man just hitched a ride on a helicopter at a wedding is actually wild. So this week, a famous musician was getting married. So he held a big traditional wedding with music, dancing, food, and a lot of celebrity guests. One of which was a massive YouTuber who turned up in a freaking helicopter to shorten the 7-hour drive from Nairobi to where the wedding was. But when it was time to leave, one of the guests, who, let's be honest, he probably wasn't even invited, went and approached the passengers knowing that they are wealthy and asked them for money. When they refused, he asked them, okay, at least just give me a ride. When they refused again, they had to get security involved to remove him. But that did not stop the bicycle repairman and father of 2, which is a crazy detail when you see that he somehow returned and he said, I'm not taking no for an answer, and he hitched on. He said, don't worry, I know I'm a father of 2 children that need me, so let's... Bro, imagine your dad died that way, legit. And you're like, he didn't even care about us to do something like that. That's crazy. Oh, but there's a twist, because when I first saw it, I thought, like, oh man, this is a tragic story. But no, because there isn't a tragic ending. When the pilot noticed, he quickly made an emergency landing, dropping him off unharmed in a nearby field. Absolutely shocked that he survived, locals then ran to him, lifted him up, and then like chanted and started running him through the town in celebration. Now, fair enough, but he has since been arrested for putting the passengers in the helicopter's lives in danger. But he refused to apologize, saying that it was exhilarating for him. He said that he usually has to rely on donkeys for transport, so the flight kind of marked a historic moment in his life. He even managed to keep his slippers, and he said that he could have lasted the entire 65-minute flight hanging on all the way to Nairobi. I'd love to know what the kids think about this.
Think of the children. Won't somebody please think of the children?
But we must move on, because let's focus on you now, United States. And I guess let's bring in China to this part of the news. Because, look, come on now. One of you, just one of you blink. Please, just put us out of our misery. End this. This week, the White House announced that China will now be facing a 245% tariff because of their retaliations against the United States. Bro, I remember when this was shocking when it was like 20%. What retaliations, you may ask, has China been cooking up? Well, Chinese officials have ordered airlines to stop all future Boeing deliveries, and they even sent one back recently, which I saw live reporting right before I got into it. They sent one back. It cost like $55 million, and they literally sent it back to Boeing. And they also banned the purchase of all US aircraft parts, which is pretty big because that's like one of the United States' biggest exports almost every year. On top of that, Hong Kong has suspended postal services to the US, meaning they are now refusing to handle any parcels coming from or to the United States. And then for the biggest blow, China has now paused the export of 7 critical rare earth minerals. Now bring the tone down, Alex. Real down, because that is significant. These minerals that they have just paused are essential for making so many things that we use all day. Smartphones, cars, and even weapons like drones and missiles. I guess we don't use those every day. Oh, I guess some of us do. Jeez. And why that's such a big deal that China has done that is because China holds a near monopoly on all of the production process of these minerals. A staggering 92% of global output. So I guess if you're American, you can look at that in 2 different ways. One, holy shit, that is crazy. Trump, why the hell are you picking a fight with China when they have that on us? Or 2, that's crazy. The US should absolutely not rely on another country for something that important. And so something needs to change. And both of those ways of looking at it can be simultaneously true. That doesn't mean that America doesn't have anything on China, because a massive 1/5 of their entire economy is made up of exports. And China has around 20 million workers involved in US-bound exports alone. So if US buyers dry up because of these tariffs, the hit to China's economy will be significant. But I mean, it hardly matters at this point which side suffers more. Because let's be honest, when the rich lose their investments, the poor lose their homes. Lucky I'm not in the US. I lost my garage. But what do you guys think? You know, are we seeing the light at the end of this dark trade war tunnel? Or do we still have some more pain to go?
Man,
and it's frustrating, isn't it? Sorry, we are moving